Hello friends, I wanted to share with you one of the gift boxes that I make. This is one that I made for winter. It is my Delicious Daal blend, and I'm sharing this gift box throughout the winter in my holiday box, and then I have different boxes that I pack it in for when it is the other seasons. So in this box, you are getting most of the things you need to make this dal. There are some raw ingredients you'll have to buy. You're going to get the spice blend. You're going to have to buy an onion, some garlic, a tomato, and cilantro. And most of these ingredients, I'm pretty sure most of us have in our kitchen pantry. And so in this box, you're going to get rice with it, and you're going to get a mix of dal. And so this is how you do it. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you wash your dal out really well, right? So you're going to rinse it out until the water runs clear. Then go ahead and take your nice clean dal and you're going to put it into a pan. I'm using a small size saucepan that I have. And it's my Cuisine Art pan. It's like one of my favorite pans. So then, as you can see, there's the dal inside of the pan going onto the stove. Now we're going to go to the step where we add in our spice blend. This spice blend comes in a little tin for you. You're just going to go ahead and pour it all into your pot with the dal in it. You're going to go ahead and add in a quarter of an onion that has been sliced. You're going to add in at least 2 cloves of garlic. I like it a little bit more garlicky, so I went ahead and threw in 3 cloves. Love garlic. I'm using Thai chilies. I'm using 2 of them because I like a spicier dal. I recommend other people maybe use a jalapeno and start off with half a jalapeno to this mix. And if you're a spice lover like I am, add in more. If you're not, you can even leave out the spicy chilies, right? So then here we go, lighting up our stove, and we're going to cook this for about 12 minutes. So here's the dal. It's going to come up to a boil over medium high, and then you're going to reduce it later. While the dal is cooking, I include a packet of rice in here. So I want you guys to go ahead and take the rice, wash it out once again really clean until the water once again runs clear, because you don't want any of that grit or anything when you're going to eat it. So here it's nice and clean, the rice. We're going to go ahead, pour it into my saucepan, and not pan, this is a larger pot, and then we're going to cover it with 2 times the amount of water almost. So for a cup of rice, I usually use a 1 3/4 a cup of water, and I use my finger test. If it comes up to the first line of my finger nicely, that means it has enough water. You're going to see it needed a little bit more. So there it goes. This is for me, so that's why I'm sticking my finger in it like this. So go ahead and test your water. Go ahead and put it on the stove. And this is a meal I make for my family because it comes together in under 30 minutes, basically. And, as a busy mom and as a busy just human in general, we need to have quick meals on hand. This is a nutritious meal that you can have on hand. And I'm going to add in about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to this rice. This is about a cup of rice over here that we're cooking. And while this gets cooking, we're going to go and check on our dal again. Here is the dal. It is slowly coming up to that boil that I wanted to. It foams up a little. Don't worry about it. Just let it go. And I do stir my dal a couple of times throughout the process just to make sure that all the spices are getting blended in nicely. Here's the dal. It's come to a rapid boil. I'm going to stir it up a couple times, and then I'm actually going to bring it down to a simmer, and the rest of the time it's going to be cooked on simmer with the lid on it, okay? It's been about 12 minutes. My timer just went off, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit end on it. And I'm going to set a second timer again, this one for another 12 minutes to finish off the remaining cooking of the dal and the rice. Here's the rice that's coming up to a boil, and once again, I'll bring that down to a simmer and cover it. Here is my dal. As you can see, a lot of the liquid has been soaked up, but it's still cooking. And just a real quick check on the rice. We're going to go ahead and cover this up so it can steam all the way through and finish cooking. If you have a rice cooker, use it. So here we are doing another check on my dal. Looks good. And here is the lid going back for it to simmer for those remaining 12 minutes. And about like 6 minutes through that second 12-minute step, we're going to add in 1 Roma tomato cut into 8 pieces. So here it is. As you can see, the dal has gotten softer. The grains are getting tender. We're going to add in that tomato just like I did there, and we're going to let it continue cooking with the lid on. And while it's cooking, we're actually going to move this over to my back burner over here because I'm going to start a step in the cooking process known as a tadka. A tadka is when you take aromatics and you take like seeds and stuff like that, and you temper it in some hot oil to get the flavors to release before adding it to a dish. So here we go, making the tadka. I'm adding about like a tablespoon and a half of canola oil. You can use olive oil, you can use corn oil. I like canola for this. Some people use ghee, and ghee tastes really good in dal. My husband does not enjoy it, so that's why we are using canola. And once it's hot enough, you're going to start adding things. And here I am doing another test to make sure that the pan is hot, because you want it to be hot for this stuff. Things are going to splutter and spatter as you cook the tadka. Okay, so here goes my onions. And for my tadka, I like to dice the onions. You know, it matters how you cut the onions. My husband thinks it's ridiculous, but I promise you, each way you do something to the vegetable affects the way the dish will taste. So here we have our onions and our garlic. You can either slice it or dice it, and you can put that in. And here we go. That's in there. And as it's cooking, I'm adding in the cumin seeds. Sometimes I add the cumin seeds in the beginning. There's more sliced garlic going in. And sometimes I add the cumin seeds towards the end. You just want to get the fragrance of the cumin in there. If you are not someone who wants a very heavy cumin taste, I would add the seeds at the end. If you're okay with a much more aromatic and spicy and strong taste, add the cumin seeds at the beginning. Here's a 1/4 teaspoon of salt because we want to salt our food all the way through. And we are going to cook this till it becomes kind of like a dark brown goldish color, and that's going to take a minute. So you got to keep stirring as you're doing this because you don't want it to burn. While the tadka is cooking, let's take a quick look at our dal. Our dal is simmering away on that back stove. And here's our tadka getting that nice golden color that I was telling you about. There's the dal. It's become much more of a mushy consistency, and that's what we're going for. My tomatoes are still holding the shape, so everything looks good so far. Back to the tadka. So the tadka is looking just like how I want it to look. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this mix and we are going to pour it into our dal that's been simmering away on that back burner for us, so that all these flavors can melt together. And as I'm pouring this, there's probably about like 3 or 4 minutes left on my clock as it's going. So here we go. Here we take the tadka and we pour it right in. Sizzle, 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 splatter, splatter, splatter. And here's the rice that's been cooking, as I was telling you, nice and steamy and ready to go. So this is basically get ready to be served, and you can order this by inboxing me on Bengali Begum, or you can email me at Tazin, that's TAZIN.C at bengalibegum.com. Right, and I'll get these dal packs over to you guys. These are available for shipping all across the United States. So if you're interested in making your own dal, give me a call. And here is my timer that's been going off. Our dal is ready. Let's turn off my timer and let me show you how I would like to serve this. One quick look. This is what the dal looks like, and this is our rice. So here's service time. And we started off with this one box of dal mix that came with rice and our spices. And in this gift box that I made for the season, there was a cute little pot to serve it out of, also with a decorative spoon. And when you're serving it at home, a serving of dal, a serving of rice, and I love to serve my rice and dal with cilantro, green chilies, onions, and lemon or lime on the side. It's a classic. Thanks for watching.